everybody. Hope everybody's having a blessed Friday. Make sure y'all be safe on your weekend as you travel wherever you're going. In case you haven't noticed, I'm sure you'd have to be a hermit not to know what's been going on lately in NCAA basketball. Just recently, the FBI did a probe, and a lot of teams are going to be in a lot of trouble coming out lately. So basically, what the probe was is they looked into a bunch of college basketball programs to see if there were any violations. And what they came back with was a lot of teams are doing a lot of stuff. And I'm just going to break that down. Again, this is going to be a quick video that I wanted to do just to keep you guys informed. But like I said, they did a probe and they came up with a lot of information about a lot of different teams. So a lot's going to go down. So for example, the schools that got kind of knocked for doing some preferential treatment for players and families, like giving money and things like that. I believe it was Duke, North Carolina, Texas, Kentucky, Michigan, USC, Alabama, NC State, Seton Hall, LSU, Maryland, and Washington were the teams that were involved in maybe giving families and players $10,000 or more in questionable benefits. That could be cash, that could be rental cars, or whatever the case may be. Schools that were named in the Dawkins report, expense report. Again, that was South Carolina, Louisville, Utah, Xavier. I'm sorry, not Wichita, but Wichita State, Clemson, Kansas, Michigan State, USC, and I believe Texas were the schools that were involved in that. Schools that had a player or player's family listed in meetings with the Dawkins report was Alabama, Notre Dame, Vanderbilt, Iowa State, Duke, Kentucky, North Carolina, Creighton, Texas, and Virginia was a part of that. And also, one of the bigger issues is the schools with active players who are implicated. And what that means is there are players who are playing right now who are implicated in this whole probe. And those players were from Alabama. It's Colin Sexton. From Duke, it was Wendell Carter. From Kentucky, it was Kevin Knox. From Michigan State, it was Miles Bridges. From South Carolina, it was Brian Bowen. From USC, it was Beanie Boatwright. So those are the schools that have players that were implicated in the probe who are still playing for those teams today. And lastly, what they had was schools with former players implicated were Clemson, Creighton, Iowa State, Kansas, Louisville, LSU, Maryland, NC State, North Carolina, Notre Dame, Seton Hall, Utah, Vanderbilt, Virginia, Washington State, and Xavier were the teams who had former players. And some of you might know some of these guys. For example, the ex-college players were Marcus Fultz from Washington, Dennis Smith Jr. from NC State, Isaiah Whitehead from Seton Hall, and kind of a guy who's kind of really kind of stepped up this year in the NBA, Kyle Kuzma, who's from Utah, Josh Jackson from Kansas, and Malcolm Brogdon from Virginia. So again, there's more to probably come out of this story from all the things that the FBI are doing right now to kind of look into this issue. Originally everybody was talking about Louisville and Louisville's kind of role in this whole situation, and Mr. Patino being a part of this whole thing. So I'm really interested to see what happens next. If you guys didn't notice, there is one school that was not implicated in this whole thing, and that's Syracuse. So if you have a bunch of young cats who are trying to come out next year and play some college basketball at the highest level, again, Syracuse was not listed on this particular docket. So, and what that means, if a lot of people don't understand what this necessarily means, what this means is that What's probably going to happen next, and again, this is only my opinion, this is only an assumption, but what's probably going to happen next is the NCAA is going to continue to look into these probes, and what they're going to then do is they're going to then put their own sanctions into place, or actually, I shouldn't say that. Let me go backwards. What's going to happen is each school is going to look into their own program and then sanction themselves. And what that's an attempt to do is that's an attempt to show the NCAA that they're kind of looking into it and that they're sanctioned themselves in hopes that the NCAA will take it a lot lighter on them. After that probably happens, what happens next is the NCAA is probably going to come in with their own sanctions, given that these things have occurred within these programs. And what those sanctions may or may not look like is there could be scholarships taken away from these schools. There could be, if any of these schools have won championships or conference champ or whatever the case may be, then those things could be vacated. If they won any national championships during the time that these things happen, those national championships will be vacated. And like I said, scholarships and things of that nature. And also they may put in the sanction that they're no longer allowed for X amount of years to participate in the NCAA tournament regardless of their record. So again, some people call it the death penalty when you take away scholarships and no tournament bids or anything like that. So that's probably what's going to happen next. Not to mention some fines will probably be levied, and a couple of coaches will probably be fired and things of that nature. But we all know that this kind of stuff has been going on for decades. College coaches, or college programs or boosters paying players and things like that to get kids to come to their schools and stuff like that. So it's not something new. It's just the fact of the matter is they just got caught at this time. So again, like I said before, Syracuse was not on that list. So again, if you young guys looking for a place to go where you'll be able to play in the tournament, the NCAA tournament, Syracuse has been a great program, always have been, and always probably will be. So make sure you think about that. So again, thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Again, any opinions is always welcome to get the conversation started. If you have any more information to add, again, I have a little information about this. This is something that's kind of just came out recently. If you have more information about it, feel free to add it. Like I said, I don't know everything. So any information that you have in regards to this is always welcome. So again, like I said, have a blessed weekend. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys soon.